Hi everybody, welcome back. Tristan from Tag Translations and Design, OP Localization and Translation. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. I really wanted to show you this program that I've been using. It's called Freshbooks. It's an online accounting system, and I really like it, but I've had a lot of trouble recording it. And the reason why is because every time I went through to record on the main website, showing something live, it would actually show all my personal information as well as all the information for my different clients. And I didn't want to do that. So we're going to do something a little bit different. I decided to put together a PowerPoint. Because everybody loves PowerPoint, right? Especially to translate, they're fun. So I have a couple slides here that show off some of the main features that I use every day for FreshBooks. There's a lot more that it has. It offers a lot more than just this as well. I'm not even going to touch any of the parts that go into report generation for taxes or going into expense tracking or any of that other stuff. We're mostly just going to look at the main overview. We're going to look at how to generate an invoice, invoice status, time tracking, and estimates so we can send out bids. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and get started with my amazing PowerPoint. Slide number 1. And that doesn't work. There we go. Okay. So this is what your main overview is going to look like, and as you can see, it's not normally going to be this blurry. So we have a couple different things here that we can see. Alright, there's my mouse. It says right here our overview. When you click on this button here, you can generate new invoices, you can sign up new clients, you can do all kinds of new different things. It's really neat. This right here will show you all your outstanding invoices, how old they are. This will show you any active projects that you have, recent activities. So for example, when you issue an invoice to a client, it'll actually generate a profile for them, so that way they can log in, they can keep track of how much they've paid you, they can keep track of any invoices that they have due. You can do a lot of different stuff, and that's really neat. So it helps your clients keep their accounting up to date as well. So we can see that right here, so we can see when a client logs in, we can see what they do, just that way we can keep on track of our numbers as well. Now you do have customer reviews where your customers can leave a review of you or your business. What else do we have here? And then this down here is your different expense categories, and we're not really going to touch a lot on that just because it goes into a lot of my personal stuff, and you know, there's not all of it's really super important, nor is it going to be helpful to you. So when it talks about active projects, this here will actually show you the number of hours that you work on a particular project. This is great if you're working on editing or any sort of QA work. And it actually has a time tracker built into this as well. Other stuff I wanted to mention before I get too far, this does have a mobile app. You can get it on your iPhones, iPads, you can also get it on your Android devices. I think it's great. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and how I've used it when I get to the time tracking part, but I think that'll cover the first page pretty well. I think we've beaten everything as much as we can. Okay, so when you click on invoices, you're going to see this screen. It's going to show you all your outstanding invoices. It says who owes you what, how much, when the invoice was issued, and then also the invoice status. And it has a nice little legend down here underneath that tells you about the different statuses of your invoices. So for example, you can see on mine, I have a few invoices out that need to be paid out. These two have both been viewed by the client, so that means the client has clicked on the link that's provided to them in the email. These two have both been sent, and then these two have both been paid. So that's really neat, and it just gives you your totals and things like that. It's just your invoice overview. Now if you want to generate an invoice, you click that new invoice button, and it'll take you to this screen. Now when you create a profile for each one of your clients, then you can just come over here to where it says client, you click on this, and you'll get that drop down menu that will show you all your different clients. You just click that button, and it'll automatically populate their names, their address, preferred currencies, emails, invoicing systems like PO numbers and things like that. It just pops right up. And it's great. It makes life a lot easier. You can also include your own individual invoice number, dates, PO numbers if needed, discounts. Your clients can actually pay you directly from the FreshBooks platform. And what's nice about that is it makes it a lot easier for them. They can pay with anything, any of the normal payment options, so you can actually take a debit and credit card through this. You can do, I think you can do bank transfers, and then of course you have PayPal. And one of the nice things about PayPal is it gives you two different options. You have your standard PayPal, which is your percentage of the invoice amount, or you have a business PayPal payment. And what that means is it's just a 50-cent flat fee. And this is awesome. So let me tell you a couple stories. I've worked on a couple larger projects that have been $2,000 or $3,000 invoices. And when my client pays me through PayPal, especially if it's coming from a different country, those fees get kind of crazy. We're talking anywhere from 5 to 10% fees. And so out of a $3,000 invoice, we're talking about $300 or $150. And that's a lot of money. And just, it sucks. As you can see, the actual invoicing is separated into two different segments. You have tasks, which are your per hour rates, and you have items, which is, in our case would be per word rates. So for example, I charge about $45 an hour to do in-game QA. That's when you go through, you play the game, make sure everything makes sense in context. And so working on a particular project, using the time tracker, which I'll show you here in a second, I just hit that when I start, turn it off when I'm done, and it will automatically populate here in this. And it'll say, okay, so I spent 5.2 hours in the game. That's a total of $234, which is kind of cool. It's a great way to make money. And then of course you have your per word rate, which in this case, English, Spanish to English is anywhere from 10 to 12 cents a word. And so I figured, 550 words, that can be $66. And so you just slip in those numbers and you're done. So you can tell it, for example, what your rate is and then how many words, or there's a few different ways that you can do it. Anyways, it's just a great tool. And then of course you can apply discounts and things like that. You can add additional lines. You can add in your terms and conditions. You can add in any notices to the client. So if you prefer that you get paid through one way or through another, you can add in your wire transfer details in here. There's a lot of different things that you can do. Like I said, it's a really great system just because it does give you so many different options. Okay, time tracking. Now this is another one of those things that's going to be really important to us because we use time tracking for editing, we use it for QA, we use it for consulting, we use it for research, we use it for a whole bunch of different things. And so this is really great. And then what I did here is I actually split this two different screens and put it into one. Now, this is what the normal screen looks like, and you can log in your hours, as you do them. So if you spent 4 hours yesterday working on a project, you can come in here, click on the date, and say I worked 4 hours on this project for this client, doing this task, and then add in additional notes. You can also pull up your start timer, which is right here. If you click on this, you'll see this little screen pop up, and this is actually in a separate window, so this won't actually change or be affected if you move away from this screen. Anyways, what you do the same thing. You say the project you're working on, the task that you're working on. So once you hit that start button, it will automatically keep track of the time that you spend working on that particular project, and then it will automatically update your timesheets, and then it will automatically update your invoices, which is great. This is also available on the app, and it's one of my favorite things about this. And the reason why, well, let me tell you a story. I was once doing some interpreting for a hospital. I was working for an insurance company, and they needed somebody to go out and take care of paperwork. And so I went out there, and as soon as I walked into the hospital, I pulled out my phone, hit the start button on this little guy right here, and I went through, did the whole deal, and when I was finished, as soon as I stepped out, I hit the stop button, and then I logged in the hours, created the rest of the invoice, issued it to the client, and by the time I got to my car, the invoice had already been issued, and by the time I got home, the invoice had already been paid. So it's really, really great, especially when you have a good client who's really on top of what they're doing. Okay, so the last thing we're going to look at here is estimate generation. So this is really handy when you're applying for a job, or if you're trying to send out a bid or an estimate for a project. You can simply come in here, you create what would essentially be an invoice, but it's an estimate that the end client can then use. So like I said, you fill it out, get everything put together, your client sees exactly what they're going to be charged for, what exactly where each dollar is going, and then as soon as your client accepts the estimate, this will automatically transfer to an invoice, and then it will just show up and you keep going like normal. It's really great, and I really like how integrated everything is. Everything works together, and one thing just leads to the next, and I think it's really cool. Now, of course, this is not paid. I'm not being paid to do this. I'm not doing anything. They don't even know I'm doing this video right now. I just want to let you guys know that this is a tool that I really like. It's a tool that I use every day, and it's great. And like I said, it just makes life a lot easier for us. And then, of course, the best part is something that we're working on right now, taxes. So you can kind of see it right here on this particular screen where it says reports. If you click on this, which of course this is just an image so we can't click on it, but by clicking on this on the report button, there we go, you can get all your tax information. You can get everything exported to an Excel sheet. You can upload it straight to TurboTax is what I use. There's a lot of different things that you can do with it. It makes taxes so easy. You can just go through and you push the button and you can see which clients pay you the most, which clients send you the most money or the most work. You can see who pays the fastest. You can see how much you've made in each individual task during the course of the. Anyways, it just makes life a lot easier for us. It gives me the time to focus on work and on everything else. I don't have to worry so much about my accounting, and it's great. And like I said, I use it all the time. It's on all my mobile devices, so I can always keep track of what's going on. And it's a good tool, and that's the reason why I wanted to share it with you today. And if you do want to start using this, I would suggest that you start using it as soon as possible, like here within the next couple of weeks, because the new year has just started, and now's a great time to start a new accounting program that will automatically update itself throughout the rest of the year. It is $20 a month to use this particular system. They do have different plans. I think it does have a free trial, but I think it's just limited to the number of clients that you can have on the system at a time. I'm personally using the $20 a month plan. I think it's been perfect for me. It covers all of my needs, and by having access to that 50-cent flat fee for a PayPal charge instead of the percentage, this thing has already paid for itself for the next 6 years. So it's been great. Anyways, that's it for today. I think that's everything I have. It is. As always, if you like this sort of content, like, subscribe, share, all that other stuff, so that way I know I'm not talking to myself. And algo más. If you'd like to keep up to date on different videos that we upload, hit the subscribe button, and then it will automatically show up in your feed whenever you log into YouTube, and that way you don't miss anything. I have also started a daily vlog where I just go over some of the different details and things about being a video game translator, and that's fun. It's mostly me playing video games because I started over the weekend. So, for the Horde! Anyways, have a great day. Stay OP. Ciao.